I am useless. I've been doing this for 2 years and I keep muting myself. So I start again. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to HFC Till I Die, home of Tottenham, past, present. And how come you can't hear me? This happened last. On mute again. Right, can you hear me now? Just give us a thumbs up or a yeah or a nay. Well, if somebody does come up then, but yeah, grand. Cheers, Eltel Cockerel. Do you want to join me, Eltel? If you're doing nothing, do you want to come on and join me? I can send you the link if you want. If you want, good. Right, good afternoon. For the third time, I'll get it right eventually. Welcome to HFC Till I Die, home Tottenham, past, present, and an exciting future on the Antropods to go glue. And Tottenham go marching on towards a European place for next season. And as you can see, I'm on my own. And Philip, of course, is gallivanting around Dublin somewhere, looking for a new gig for his Tom Jones show. But anyway, a lot of news, not a lot of news tonight around action today. Apart from the Champions League tonight, which I will be going through, because we were going to do the Man City Brentford game, till I realised I cannot get it anywhere. So what I'm going to do is going to be changed, and we are going to do the Inter Milan game instead for the Champions League. So that's going to be a little bit different for you guys. So please come and join me at 10 to 8 for that if you can. Well, let's see who's in and say good morning to everyone. Good afternoon to Wembley 1. Afternoon, everyone. Big up Wembley. We've got Sonny KL7. Big up. We've got Dermio. Big up. He says afternoon. Afternoon to you. We've got ENS. Big up ENS. He says oi oi. Oi oi to you. We've got Great and Sunny. We've got Coys. We've got ENS and G'day. G'day, Tron. G'day. Lots of g'day. We've got Wembley 1. Afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Vicar. Good afternoon, Derma. Good afternoon, Vicar. Hope you're doing well. I'm getting ready to leave work. Love to another day. Well, we'll sort that out as well, Airtel. We'll get you in there. And then hello, Colin. Guys, what did you think of last night's game? The Everton Palace game. I thought last night was a fair result actually for Palace. Last night I thought they played well, but again, they just can't keep a clean sheet, can they? Doesn't matter what they do. They just cannot. They conceded late goals against Chelsea. They conceded late goal last night for against Everton. You got Roy Hodgson stepping down as manager of Palace now, and the German manager Gleeson taken over as from, I think, Tottenham is his first game in charge. So that should bring a little bit of German stability, I think, to Palace, and I think Palace will stay up. But Everton, for me, are they in trouble? Yeah, they are. And also, within the next 24 hours, guys, the Premier League relegation battle to become clear in the next 24 hours with crucial decision expected. Now, we know Everton were already fined 10 points for FFP. They look like they're going to be deducted another 10 points. Now, they have put in an appeal. So we have to wait and see what happens with that appeal. I don't think they're going to win their appeal. I think the Premier League and the FA will want to send out a message to the other clubs. This will not be tolerated. And if you look at the Man City thing, they're going to. I was speaking to Philip earlier, and he made a very good point that Man City are going away scot-free. And I feel they're picking on the easy targets, the Premier League and the FA at the moment with this FFP. Tottenham, there's rumours going around. Tottenham could be hit with a points deduction as well. Over the Jermaine Defoe deal. No news has broken that. As soon as that breaks, we'll bring it to you straight away. But I was hearing even this last week that Tottenham could be facing deductions. Now, will they win their appeal? Probably, and they probably will win their appeal. But why is it taking the FA and the Premier League 15 or 16 years to charge Tottenham with something that should have been charged 15, 20 years ago? It just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They're going after the easy targets without going after the big teams like a Man City and like a Chelsea, who need to be charged, who need to be brought down a peg or two And I feel City are getting away with it scot-free. You could have potential of you've got potential of Chelsea winning a trophy on Sunday, and they're under investigation from FFP. Does that mean Chelsea have won a competition unfairly? It opens up a load of can of worms, which I don't think the Premier League actually thought they would be opening up. But let's see what the people say in the chat. And this is the first talking point between you and me, you and myself and you guys. They'll probably wait and see who if we finish top four before charging us. Well, as far as I hear, they've already been charged. I think it's just waiting to come out here now. I've heard different reports. It could be 5 points, it could be 6 points, it could be 7 points, it could be 10 points. We just don't know. But all I know that Tottenham could be, unconfirmed reports, could be facing the points deduction due to this Jermaine Defoe deal. Now, a lot of people have said it's fake news. A lot of people have said it's just clickbait or whatever. I've got this on good authority, and Ian, you know as well as I do how good my source has been, and this has now come within the FA as well. So, we're getting this from the horse's mouth. So we have to wait and see when it will be announced. God only knows. Could be this week, it could be next week, but I think it might be done around the same time when they announced the Everton and Nottingham Forest charges as well. And I fear for Everton. I really do. Colin Turner, no hesitation to play youngsters who will only get better. Richards, Wharton, well done to Palace. We need to have a closer look. Yeah, I was really impressed with Wharton last night. Very impressed. I thought he had a really good game. I thought Richards had a good game as well. And I thought Palace were unlucky not to get a win there. They deserved all 3 points. But again, it just stems to what happened last week at Chelsea. They concede too many late goals. And maybe with the new German manager coming in, will they get a bit of German-style defending going on? I think that's what they need. But Palace won't go down. I don't think so. What about City, says Sonny? Exactly. What about City? City have been breaking the rules for the last 10, 11 years, and nothing's been done about it. And they keep saying that they're charging them, they're investigating them, they're looking into them. Well, UEFA looked into them, charged them, and found them guilty of breaching FFP, found them guilty of breaching so many rules. And they got away with it. CAS rejected, they won their appeal through the Court of Arbitration for Sports. And it's got to a point now where the Premier League we can find the smaller teams, but we can't touch the big teams. Well, that's an unfair advantage, and it's unfair into the teams that cannot be like a Man City or a Chelsea or a Newcastle, who have Saudi backing, who have a nation behind them, who have massive oil money behind them. And now they're going over at Tottenham now for something that happened nearly 20 years ago. So where do you go with this? Is it we charge everyone else, but we won't worry about City or Chelsea because we know they can't be touched? So I think it's ridiculous. It stinks, and I agree with Ian. It says, Ian, this stinks. Wonder if we're getting an appeal date before the end of the season. Exactly. Exactly. Big up to Wayne Bonner. He goes, good afternoon, Dome, and everyone in the chat. Hope you're all well and having a great Tuesday. Yeah, busy Tuesday. Busy Tuesday. Let's go up there. We've got also they look better playing 5 at the back. Will be interesting if it's by design because of injuries or whether it's a new manager's way. I think it was a new manager's way. They look very good last night, Palace, and I don't think they will go down. I think they'll have enough about them to stay up. But they are looking at the closest rivals at Brighton, and look how well they're doing. So I can understand why the Palace fans are unhappy at the moment. There's not really been much investment. But look, I wish Roy Hodgson a happy retirement. It's not to see any manager fall ill at a football club or go into hospital because of anything to do with the football club. And the way Palace handled it as well was absolutely short of a disgrace. I mean, that man deserves more respect than he got. And it's okay putting out statements saying, oh, you're a great friend and he's got the keys to Palace. Well, you went behind his back. Somebody leaked it to the media that you were appointing this new manager instead of letting Roy Hodgson go out on his own terms. He was sort of forced out because he was unwell. He got taken to hospital. He collapsed apparently at the training ground. And I feel Palace didn't give him the opportunity to go out on his own terms and at least bring him back for the next home game and let him say goodbye properly to the fans. I think Palace owe him that at least. He kept them up last season, and he put them on stability of keeping them within the Premier League for the last 10 years. So I think Roy Hodgson needs to be respected more. Yeah, he is old. He's 76. Do I think this will be his last management? But you look at what's his name? Who's his name up at Aberdeen? He's in his 70s and he's still managing. So I suppose you'd say never say never. Vikez says, I am an Everton fan. I know you are, but let me know what you think, sir. What you think, let me know. Wembley 1, if Palace play like that, we will struggle our current form to break them down. Yeah, I agree with you, Wembley 1. That's the game I am not looking forward to. In this, a bit like us, we can't keep a clean sheet either. No, we can't. Vikez says it was a good game. It was a good game. I enjoyed it last night. I really did. I thought it was a good game. And I felt sorry for Palace. I thought Palace deserved it. I really did. Let's see who else has come in. We've got Wayne Bonner. I see Dermot on supervised. Let the fun and the games commence. That's it, Wayne. You know what it's like. We've got Ian S. Got my coffee here with you guys, Wayne. So all is good. Big up to Ian. We've got Wayne. Perhaps they should grow a pair and deal with Chelsea and City before going after. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. They should go after Chelsea and Man City, but they won't because they know they will lose. Why? Because A, Man City have the money to buy the best lawyers in the world. B, Chelsea, they'll probably will their way out of it with some loophole that's somewhere along the line. And I just feel you're never going to get Chelsea and Man City done for this. They'll always find a way around. They'll always find a way out of it. And it's wrong. And it's very, very wrong. And I'm really pissed off that the likes of Everton, look, they've done wrong. They've reported themselves. So rightly, if you report yourself, you get punished. You take the punishment and you get on with it. But when you see the likes of Chelsea in a League Cup final, you look at Man City winning everything, but they've cheated by getting there, by flaunting the laws of the game, by finding loopholes. That shouldn't be allowed. And if UEFA have found them guilty, surely it shouldn't take the Premier League too long to find them guilty as well. But it's and look, and they're going to find Tottenham for something that happened 20 years ago. Come on. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We've got Ricky Villa, THFC. Big up Ricky. Says afternoon, Dermot, and all in the chat. Afternoon, sir. How are you? Carl Simpson. Good afternoon, Dermo, and everyone in the chat. Afternoon. We've got a lot of people saying all right to everyone. We've got Ian says, I don't really know the ins and outs of the Defoe deal, but I'm surprised Levy let that happen. Well, the end of it is, this is sort of what I've been told. They used an unlicensed agent back then called Mitchell Thomas, who used to play for us and West Ham back in the day. Now, it was Harry Redknapp. Apparently, this is what I can gather. Harry Redknapp used him. Daniel Levy used him to get to Defoe from Portsmouth to Tottenham. Now, if they didn't find anything 15 or 16 or odd years ago, what's come out now to make them look at it again? And if they have found something, then why wasn't it looked into then, if you know what I mean? I feel, Philip said to me, and I agree with him, Tottenham will win the appeal because it's very hard to charge somebody nearly 20 years after the fact. Back then, there wasn't so much rules on unlicensed agents. Everyone used them. Every club did it. So if you're going to charge Tottenham, then you might as well charge every other Premier League team at the time that were in the Premier League, because we weren't the only team using unlicensed agents. So is this an anti-Tottenham thing by the Premier League? Probably is. We all know the Premier League don't like Tottenham, and we don't like the Premier League. They're just a bunch of soft kids that won't go after the bigger fry. But let's pick on Tottenham. They're hang on, let's go through the rule book. Have a look through the rule book. What can we charge them with? Oh yeah, we found this law in 1892 by using the wrong tea bags in their tea. Let's dock them 10 points for that. And hang on, let's go through it again. Let's go through it again. Oh yeah, hang on. In 1934, they used the wrong bit of milk. Let's charge them with that as well. That's 5 points. That's 15 points for making the wrong cup of tea. Let's go through the rule book again. Let's see what else can try. Oh yeah, in 1972, they paid the player £1 more than what they're allowed to. Or let's charge them 20 points for that. But Man City can go around and just flaunt the laws like they don't exist. And they can, I'll tell you what, let's put more money into the club, but we'll call it extra sponsorship. Yay, that's a good idea. And we'll get away with it as well. You know, don't worry if FIFA come and try to charge us. We'll just bribe the judges at CAS. Don't worry, we'll do that. We'll bring them in a massive plane into Saudi Arabia and give them what they want. It's like hypocrite is not the word. It's mind-boggling. It really is. Sonny's right. It's a bloody joke. It really is. And you look at Everton, you look at Forest. Forest went for a year in the Championship. And of course, when they're going to come back up to the Premier League, they're going to spend big to stay up in the Premier League. That's where the money is. And hang on, how about giving a bit of leeway to these teams that come up and down, that are yo-yo clubs? But you won't look in and you won't charge the bigger fry that can damage your brand. And this is what it's all about. This is what it's about from start to finish. It's about the brand of the Premier League. It's about the brand of how can we sell the brand of the Premier League to the world, to the world. We can't have our champions being demoted to League Two for corruption. Oh no, we can't do that. But don't worry about Everton or Nottingham Forest. Don't worry about their fans. Don't worry about them. Don't we knock them down? We'll give them into the Championship. Let them get on with it. You know, that could send a club into administration. A club that hasn't got big owners. We all know Everton were financially in a mess, but they're building a new stadium. So how much more money's gone into that? How much debt are they actually in? And you relegate them into a Championship, they could go into administration. Same as Forest. But don't worry, we won't hurt the brand. That won't hurt the brand. But charging Man City and deducting them points or Chelsea, that will hurt the brand. If Juventus can get stripped of the titles and knocked down 2 divisions, I think, as Wayne says here, Wayne says if Juve can get relegated, then City and Chelsea can get exactly. But that hurt the brand of Serie A. The Premier League does not want the Premier League brand dented in any way, shape, or form. And this is what's happened. It's the brand that's got to be kept squeaky clean. So, say the likes of a Tottenham or a Forest or an Everton or any team outside the top 6, oh, don't worry about them. We'll just get them done. But we can't touch Man City. Oh no, we get scared. And Ian's right. Ian's spot on when he says Serie A have balls. Wayne, the English Premier League don't, and it's true. It is true. Italian football has been known for years to being corrupt. Nothing was ever done about it till Serie A actually grew a pair of balls and done something about it. And the English Premier League, it's all about the brand. How much rights can we sell to worldwide? We have to sell the brand to Saudi Arabia or China or America, or we can't hurt Man City, because if they get demoted, that would damage the brand, and that they will come after us and sue us. Do you know where are we going with the game? Where's football? Is football now being dictated to by people sitting in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and the Middle East? Is the Premier League being run by people outside of the Premier League? Look, it won't be so long before a Premier League game is played in the Middle East, played in Saudi Arabia, or played in the Middle East somewhere. And the English Premier League will just roll over like a doggy, stick their legs in there and have their tummy tickled. Like you do with a dog or a cat. That'd be the Premier League, just sitting there. Oh, rub my belly, rub my belly. I want to be tickled more by money. And when are we as fans going to stand up to this? Because we stood up against the Super League, which now the Champions League is next season will become a Super League without calling it a Super League. And are we going to have to sit back and watch our game being dragged through the mud, being taken away from genuine fans, by genuine fans who cannot afford to go and watch their team play? Football is now for people. Look, and I'm one of them. I come from Ireland to watch Tottenham play only once or twice a season because I cannot afford to go. And you look, it's full of people coming from America, Germany. I've got no problem with that. Got no problem with that whatsoever. But it's the genuine fan that's being pushed out of the game. The fan that's been there back when White Hart Lane was there, when Main Road was there. If people can remember, that's what Manchester City used to play at Main Road. When the old Dell, I think Southampton used to play there at the Dell, the old Dell, if people can remember that, before the move to St Mary's, where Liverpool and Everton were dominating the league in the 80s, where Arsenal, every year there was a different team. Coventry won the FA Cup in 87. Luton won the League Cup in 87, I think, or 87, I think, or 88. Football was football back then. Football isn't football now. Football's all about money. Football's all about, if I give you the biggest band paper bag, will you turn the blind eye to what I'm doing? And yes, corruption's always been in football. Corruption and football has always gone in hand in hand. Even back to the old days in the 1800s, when football was even starting, corruption was within football. So it's always going to go hand in hand. And I just feel the Premier League and UEFA and FIFA, and I've said it before, and I stand by what I'm saying, that they're the biggest corrupted organizations going, because they will not go after the teams that are doing the damage. They will go after the teams that are easy meat, that haven't got the money to appeal them. And you know full well Everton's not going to win their appeal against a 10-point deduction, or it may get knocked down to 5. So they get another 10. That's 15 points. Nottingham Forest get 10 points. That's Forest and Everton nearly relegated. It's all about protecting the brand. Well, if you're going to protect a brand, then you need to weed out the clubs that are damaging the brand. And that's not an Everton, and it's not an Everton or Nottingham Forest. It's a Man City and Chelsea. And they've got to realise that. You look at Chelsea up to 2-3 years ago. They had an owner, a Russian owner, Abramovich. He only left because the government sanctioned him, and Chelsea nearly went to the wall because they had no money. But the Premier League wouldn't let that happen. They've broken rules left, right, and centre for years and years and years, and nobody has the balls to say to these clubs, right, you've broken the rules, you're going to be done for it. But don't worry, let's pick on Tottenham. They've broken the rule 20 years ago, which every other club was doing at the time, by the way. And we may charge them. It's just, I don't know. It really gets my goat going. Wayne, absolutely agree. In the EFP a week because of money rather than morals and principles. Exactly. Colin says, big up, Colin. Thank you for jumping in. He says, also, Forest wasn't allowed to have the same debt as other clubs because they're promoted. And that's unfair. And that's another rule that needs changing. That is another rule that needs changing. And it won't be changed because it benefits it benefits other teams. It doesn't benefit the bigger teams. And this is why it's so unfair. This is why this FFP It's so unfair. It doesn't hit the clubs properly. It doesn't it hits the smaller clubs before it hits the bigger clubs, and the bigger clubs can afford it. And yeah, as I know, I said easy me. I know Tottenham can afford the best lawyers, and we can afford this. But what I meant by easy meat was that Tottenham always seem to be the team the FA or the Premier League go for. They won't go for a Chelsea or a Man City because they know they're too big for them. They're afraid of what Man City will do to them. They have billions beyond billions beyond billions to fight their case, and the FA won't have billions and billions and billions to find Man City in the court. So you know full well that by an appeal, Man City will probably win that appeal, or Chelsea will win that appeal, because they haven't got the gumption, they haven't got the balls to say to Man City, right, you can't appeal this decision, you've broken the law, you're getting relegated, deal with it. People have more respect for the Premier League and more admiration for the Premier League if they did that. But they won't. They'll go for the easy teams. Knocking down Everton could send Everton into administration. Nottingham Forest could be in the same boat. But let's not worry about them. They're yesterday's teams. We've got to keep today's team sweet. And it's gone beyond the joke for me. Carl said the thing is now, the problem is that we're a massive club despite the lack of titles. We're an operating on a level on World Football Day will target us. Do you know what, Carl? You are right by that. We are a big club. We've always been a big club. Tottenham have always been a massive club. With trophies or without, I don't care what anyone says. Tottenham are a massive club. Always have been, always will be. And you can say what you want. We haven't won trophies. And yes, there's frustration. We haven't won any trophies since 2008. Yes, getting into the Champions League isn't a trophy, but it's progression. And yeah, I want us to win a trophy more than anyone. The last trophy, I can remember us winning FA Cups and winning UEFA Cup. And as fans don't even remember us winning anything. And that's sad. But you look at Newcastle, they haven't won anything since 1969. I wonder how they fans feel and all the shite they've been through, Mike Ashley, and now they've got bought over. Now they can't splash the cash because of FFP. FFP works if it's run properly. If you've broken the rules, you get fined, you get doctor points, you take it. This is where it doesn't work because they're not targeting the people that have constantly broken the rules year after year after year after year after year. And it's wrong, and it should be changed. Somebody should have the gumption and the balls to stand up to these people and say, right, enough's enough. They're ruining the game that we all love. I'm sure if I ask Wayne or Carl or Colin or Ricky or Ian, is football the same as it was back in the 80s? And I know probably all of them would say no, it's changed. Football back in the day meant something. It meant something. It was, you went to a game because you wanted to go. You went to the game because it was entertainment. You met your friends, and you still do now. And yes, football had to change because of the times, because of Sky TV, and because it's now 2024 and it's different to what it was. And you can't be looking with football with rose-tinted glasses. But I feel football has lost its soul. It's lost its moral compass. It's lost what football was meant to be. And that's nothing to do with Tottenham. I love Tottenham. They're my second love, apart from my family. My family come first, Tottenham second. And I remember football as a child. And remember not getting many games on television, by the way, back in them days, back in the 80s. And remember looking forward to an FA Cup final, which was probably one of the few matches shown back then. And you had the odd league match shown, or you had the League Cup final shown in the internationals. They were like the World Cup, stuff like that, not like it is now. And you enjoyed it. You look forward to it. And I just feel football has forgotten its roots. It's forgotten what football was. It was us fans that make football. It's the fans that gave it its soul, that gave it its purpose, that gave it its. We paid for the club. The club was our club. You look back in the 70s and 80s, every club, all the fans, what you paid at the gate played the players' wages. And I think football clubs have forgotten that, that we are what makes football what it is. They've forgotten the soul. They've forgotten that us fans are football. If there's no fans, there's no football. But football will carry on. You saw it through COVID. They could still play. They don't need us. They don't need our fans. They don't need us filling out the stadium every week. If we didn't go, football will still exist. Football will still continue because of the money being brought in by Sky TV, by TV companies, by commercial companies, by people that are sponsoring the club, by people that can put money in, billionaires can put money in. And we're the last people clubs think about now. Or let's put the tickets up by, say, 2 or 3 or 4%. Then that stops a man in he's taking his children to a game every week because he can't afford it. Because football has become too expensive. And this is where I think football has lost its moral compass because it seems to forgot where it's come from. And I feel the Premier League is getting too big for its boots. It's the Premier League, the bubble's getting bigger and bigger. If that bubble burst, a lot of clubs will be in financial troubles, left, right, and centre. But it won't burst because it won't let it go burst. It's just, I just feel football's lost its moral compass, in my opinion. Wayne says, Ricky Villa, TOC, if the EFPL want to make a point, then they have to do it. Agreed. Crikey agrees. The EFL, Wayne says the English Premier League can't do us on FFP, so they'll look for any other excuse to come for us with no logic or reason. But exactly, Wayne, absolutely, exactly. Ricky says White Hart Lane still miss the old girl. I do too. I went to the game, went to the Brighton game, right? And as much as I was excited going to the game, going to watch my team play, excited going to watch Tottenham the first time this season, I don't know. There was something missing in that stadium. As magnificent as it is, as lovely as the stadium is, as great as it is, and, you know, how much people can... Hello. Hello. How are you?
Hello there. Yeah,
how's the gig hunting going on?
I'll tell you, the parking space hunting was great fun. It took me 3 times to drive around the Keys to get a parking space.
Oh, that's nice for you.
Yeah.
Nice for you.
How's it going anyway? Bit
yeah, fine.
Here,
I was having a rant about FFP and Nottingham Forest and Everton going to be charged and us picking any old law just to do us for some reason. I mean, I went back through the rule, but apparently we've been deducted 10 points for using the wrong water back in 1835.
Yeah, this is quite an achievement. So you hadn't been founded till 1882.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
and also, I likened the English Premier League to a dog sitting on its back with his legs in the air, wanting his tummy tickled by all the big clubs.
Yeah, with the Manchester City jersey on them, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway,
we've got save us, Philip. Dermo is about to blow.
I haven't got a pin. If I prick him with a pin, do you think you let somebody the air out?
I was saying, Philip, I was just saying that football has lost its moral compass. That it's not what it used to be. If you look back in the 70s and 80s, even 90s, we paid for the players' wages by going to a game.
Yeah.
The fans, and it does prove that football doesn't need fans. It showed that during COVID.
True. As long as you got sponsorship and TV money.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Absolutely, exactly.
Yeah.
Wayne said, I'm so behind on the comments. I rambled on so much. I got behind them. Don't talk to me about Coventry yet. Yeah, I mentioned 87.
Mention that. Please. I need therapy every time I hear that name, that date mentioned, even.
You need to start drinking the stuff behind you, Philip.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. Okay. Here we are. What we got? Tealings, is it? Yeah, Tealings.
No, the Guinness one.
Oh, that one there.
Yeah,
The
old poster from back in the day.
Yeah. Oh well.
Ricky,
Anyway,
new stadium is awesome, but it will never beat White Hart Lane for me. Philip, the new stadium, as lovely as it is, it will never be White Hart Lane, will it?
no. I mean, you can't replace history like that. I mean,
No.
okay, you can't stand still either. You have to move forward, and any team that's left with the ground holding 35,000 isn't going to survive that long in the present climate. You've got to have other money making streams. I mean, why is that lame? I used to get a shiver down your back coming up up the stairs and seeing those blue seats.
Yeah.
You know, it was incredible. You don't quite get the same buzz at the new stadium, but let's just say it is what it is. As you say, things have moved on. We're there now, and the legacy I've got at White Hart Lane is we played the last season there unbeaten, which is a great, a brilliant send off, a great memory to finish off in the place.
Yeah. We did, Philip. We rarely did. We rarely did. Now, I've just got a few comments here. I've got a few things, Philip. Oh, very quickly while you're here, just to get your comments on Chris Coleman has out the running as Ireland manager. As the management hunt goes on an interim manager may be appointed for March friendlies against Belgium and Switzerland. Ireland look to have a full-time manager in for the England game on the 7th of September. Look, there's a few names being mentioned about there's
Sam Allardyce, Neil Warnock.
Yeah, the Shamrock Rovers manager has been mentioned.
Okay.
Would he want to leave Shamrock Rovers going for 6 in a row or 5 in a row? Would he want to leave?
I mean, it's getting to be a little bit of a joke. Nobody wants us.
No.
Neil Lennon was ruled out on Sunday. Chris Coleman doesn't want it. What's his name? The England under-21 guy. Carsley seemed to be the favourite, although he seems to be blowing cold on it. So who are we going to get? It's just it shows you how much we've fallen.
Yeah.
You know, if this was after Jack Charlton or even I don't know Mick McCarthy, they'd be knocking down doors to get the job, but nobody wants it because apparently I heard someone saying this morning one of the reasons is there's no money in international management. All the money is in club management, and that's what they're thinking of now. You
know, and if you look at it, Philip, have we fallen to a laughing stock now?
We're not. No, we're not quite. But if we don't have a manager by the time the England game comes around, we might as well hand in the 3 points and not bother turning up.
Yeah. Roy Keane, do you think he could be a shock announcement?
I'd love to see the two Keanes, Roy Keane and Robbie Keane, as a tandem duo. I'd love to see that. That would shake things up a bit, but that's not going to happen because the suits in the FAI would not like they'd be just waiting for Roy Keane to let his next bombshell land. You know, he wouldn't hold back in criticising those guys. Yeah. So,
well, these are the people I'm hearing today. John O'Shea, he's in the name for the job.
No management experience.
Yeah. Dean Smith, the former Norwich and Aston Villa manager.
Management experience, but not successful management experience.
Gus Poyet. He's in.
That's better. Getting better, getting warmer.
Yeah, and then we're going for a Russian manager, Pedro Valendenko, who managed Switzerland. Apparently,
Pass.
And Stephen Kenny's assistant.
My God, are they letting him back near the building at all? Jesus.
If that happens, Philip, I swear to God, I'm walking away. I won't watch. I'll walk away.
Let's face it, you won't even walk in to walk away.
Yeah. And look, though England haven't beaten us in 33 years in the competitive games, I'm quite worried that we might lose against them somehow.
No, after that, like you mentioned, I think Gus Poyet will be a good man. In fact, he has Spurs connections. He's done a good enough job at Greece. And to be honest with you, I would look at Greece as being a step ahead of Ireland. So it's a bit of a, he's taken on a bit of missionary work there.
Yeah. And Greece outplayed us when they played us at the Aviva, by the way, and away.
They've got some very good technical players. It's what we lack. We want a manager that can teach the players good technical skills.
Yeah.
And we don't have that at the moment.
No.
You know, hit it up the pitch and run after it. That's the type of stuff manager we've had for the last while.
Well, this is it here, Philip. This is the let me take that off. This is Ireland's Nations League. Where is it? Let me take that off now to Chris Coleman. The next Ireland manager first competitive game will be against England. The Republic of Ireland will welcome England to the Aviva Stadium in their opening game of the Nations League campaign in September, the first competitive meeting between the sides in 33 years. So we kick off with England, then we're 7 days, 4 days later, no, 7, 8, 3 days later, we're at home to Greece. Then we're away to Finland, away to Greece, home to Finland, and we finish off then in 17-11 away to England.
So it's 1, 2, 3 at home and 3 away. Yeah, all right, fair enough.
So
yeah, it'd be nice to have no points going into the third match, won't it?
You're full of optimism, you are.
I'm sorry, does it show that much? Oh, God.
It does, yeah. It does show that much, yeah.
I'll try and rein it in a bit now, don't I?
Yeah. But anyway, let's see what the people have to say in the chat. We've got, I'm so lost. Colin says 66 Sheffield Wednesday had 3 players for fixing for life corruption.
I actually remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
So what did they fix? Was it a match they fixed on? Was it?
I think so. That was Derek Swan. The Swan was one of the players. It was quite a scandal at the time. I think it was a match they fixed. Yeah, they were playing.
Do you think, Philip? I said it earlier. I wonder your opinion on it. Do you think the Premier League worried more about the brand than they do about anything else?
Well, it all comes down to pounds, shillings, and pence, or sterling, or whatever you want to talk about. It's all down to money. Really, that's the bottom line, and unfortunately, it's been the what's the word I'm looking for? The ethos of the game. What started the game off was the love of the game. Now it's the love of the pounds coming in over the counter. That's what the love is.
Yeah, so, and also, Ian says we won FA Cups when we used to have an entire day in front of the TV and those. I remember it started at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. You used to go to the hotels to see what the teams were. Then you see the teams going to Wembley. Then you had the road to Wembley.
Yeah.
You had Jimmy Tarmac, yeah, Tarmac or Tarbuck playing with. Remember them charity games he used to play?
Yeah.
And then you had Saints and Greavesy doing their bit. On the BBC, you had Jimmy Hill just talking a load of nonsense.
Yeah.
Trying to stir the pot.
For the older viewers too, back in the 60s and the early 70s, you used to have a stand. Used to put up a stand on the halfway line, and this guy in the white suit would stand up in it and conduct the crowd singing "Abide with Me."
Really?
Yeah. So he looked it up. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I forget what his name was. He did it for years, and it was a real "Abide with Me" was the real. So that you'll never walk alone of all the clubs, not just for Liverpool, you know.
Yeah.
So it was a real spine tingler when they done that, you know, especially if your team was in the final.
Yeah. I know. Carl says, I said, is football recognisable now like it was back then? Carl says, God knows, almost unrecognisable now. The money has obliterated it, and still waiting for that Spurs title.
Yeah,
exactly.
Aren't we all? Yeah. Aren't we all?
Wayne Bonner says, football is absolutely nothing like it was. It's too much of a business these days, too much money. Fans not necessarily being a priority to clubs or governing bodies.
Yeah.
Bottom line, Ian says football is no longer a sport; it's a business.
That's what we've been saying all along. You know, it's the type of guy who turns up at the Spurs Stadium on a Saturday, goes into the Premier seats, has his free drink and his dinner, goes out into the seat. Right, who are we playing today? That's the type of person that's getting tickets for matches now.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but Neil says, "Woo!" The close-up of Philip off your nostril was like 3D.
Sorry about that. I'm walking around outside here. Sorry about that, lads. I didn't mean to shock you that much, you know.
It was like the new breaking film, Phillips.
No.
I love that.
Stuff.
Yeah, so we've got football. Football was the working man's sport, not anymore. Greed is now God now.
Do you remember the time they used to say rugby was a game that? Now it's turned the other way. Now you think about it. Rugby's become more populist, and soccer and football has become more elitist.
Yeah. You know? Dermo was a youngster in Ireland watching the teletext, waiting to see the scores. Those were the days.
Those were the days. I remember the teletext. Yeah, I remember the teletext.
Do you remember back in the day, if it was a relegation team, you see all the fans bringing little transistor radios?
Oh, yeah.
And ringing up their mates. What's the score? What's the score?
Yeah. I thought teletext was completely gone. But when I was in Lanzarote recently, one of the hotels there has all the flight arrivals up on teletext in the reception area.
Is it still going?
It's still going some places, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rick Avilia says non-league football is so much more appealing these days. It actually treats you like a supporter, not a consumer. Barnet moving back to the borough. Can't wait to get there when it happens.
Yeah,
It is true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Wayne says, I love the FA Cup final day, sitting in front of the telly from about 7 to 8 a.m, flicking between the two channels. There were fun and passion back then.
Yeah,
Were you ITV or BBC for Cup final back in the day, Philip?
BBC.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, BBC. Yeah.
Me, nothing against what was his Brian Moore that did the commentary. John Motson and Barry Davis for me were the proper commentators of my childhood.
Do you know the main reason I watch BBC?
Why?
No adverts.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's it.
Save us, damn, it's about to blow. We've got FJ. Light blue is a bad color, isn't it? It is a very bad color. Yeah, absolutely spot on. I wouldn't mind a tummy rub depending on who it's.
Lord, I hope your wife doesn't watch the rerun of this, Nick, Carl.
Yeah. Carl, so is it from FIFA, UEFA, or the Premier League you like it from? Just let us know.
Talking in code now.
I remember White Hart Lane, massive monitors behind the goals. Do you remember them, Philip? The big monitors on the stands.
Yeah, I do.
That was down to Alan Sugar, you know.
Yeah,
that was his brainwave.
Amstrad, yeah, because they bought them off Amstrad, that's why.
Yeah.
I don't think he did it for nothing here.
Chris Coleman would have been a good manager. I'm disappointed with that. He would have been good for us, actually.
Apparently, they're looking for a player who can bring on, as I said, the technical area. And apparently, he's not that type of manager. That's why he's ruled himself out.
And they're not looking for another Stephen Kenny.
No, I don't know.
Please, no. Billy
Brenham.
Billy
Bingham. He's the ex-Northern Ireland manager.
Yeah. Robbie Keane says FJT.
Yeah.
Oh, Roy. Yeah.
Roy, both of them.
Yeah. Carl is saying Stephen Kenny has just done a U-turn skid. He's on his way back.
No chance. No.
Frank Lampard. That's a good shout. Philip Silent said everything.
Do you really want to go there?
Philip Silent said absolutely everything there.
Yeah.
I'll say that to Dave. See, do I get the same reaction from him?
I'm not usually stuck for words, but I'm saying nothing about that suggestion. You know?
I'm looking to do a new podcast between you, me, and Dave. I got to speak to Dave about it. And that's the first part about the Ireland manager, and Frank Lampard's name is going to come up on that. And I just want to see you and Dave's reaction. Your reaction was hilariously funny.
I think I'd rather have Frank Spencer.
Yeah. Or Darth Vader. Anyway, Trapattoni. No, we had him.
No, we had him. Yeah.
Had him. Lenny Henry.
John Cleese.
Yeah. Del Boy and Rodney. And Uncle Albert running the FAI.
Uncle Albert. Yeah. No.
He'd probably say during the war. Carl Simpson says Christian Gross and Jack Santini as assistant. Oh, Lord Jesus.
No thanks.
No, thank you. We've got Peter Swan was one that ended up chairman of a club years later.
Yeah, I think was it Peter Swan or Derek Swan? It was Swan anyway. I know his name was Swan. Yeah.
You can say what you like about Sir Jimmy Hill, but he had the best chin on telly. He really did.
Jimmy Hill actually should be knighted for what he did for the footballers back in. He was the guy that led the football revolt against the maximum wage, £20 a week, when he was playing for Fulham. So fair dues to Jimmy Hill. He started the ball rolling with a decent wages for players. You know?
They're stealing our game. That's true. I think they are stealing our game. And this is what I said earlier. Do fans have to now stand up against the Premier League, against all these big organisations? We want our game back. They were quick enough to stand up about the Super League, so why not stand up about this if we want our game back?
You think about this, a lot of people might not be that clued into what's going on. You know, whereas the Super League was all over the papers. This is kind of more in-house, if you like. Fans like us know what's going on, but other people not on social media might not be as aware of it, you know?
Do you think there has to be a sort of... Look, because there's an emergency meeting with the Premier League, Philip, the government, I'm hearing today, is going to bring in a football regulator in the next couple of weeks. So does football have to organise itself for protests and organise itself for demonstrations that this has gone too far now?
They'll probably give that job to Boris Johnson.
Oh Jesus!
No, they can't. They can't let the government get involved. They can't organise a piss up in a nunnery. You know, I mean, no chance. Keep them out of it. Keep them out of it. Football. Organise your own watchdogs, if you like, but don't let the government near it, please.
But our government here fund the FAI.
Our government today is after funding the GEA 50 million for Casement Park in Belfast.
Yeah.
Right, but then again, that's probably needed. But that's funding. They're not getting involved in the actual thing. They're just funding it.
But they won't fund the FAI or the Irish League either.
No, I know. No, listen, I don't know.
It shows that the GAA in here is the number one sport in Ireland, apart from rugby. Soccer is somewhere down the Swanee somewhere.
Yeah. I'll tell you a good thing with GAA, how bad it's got down there. You can't get into a GAA match now without a ticket. There's no cash taken on the doors, right? It's a bit like, but my brother-in-law was stewarding at a match on Sunday.
Yeah.
And there were people turning up without tickets. And the GAA instruction was let them in for nothing. Now, what do you think of that? Rather than cause it, they'd say they bought tickets and it didn't download properly, or the tickets for a wrong match. And if there's any dispute at all, you let them in. So he says about 200 or 300 people got to the match on Sunday and carried.
Is it all about attendance
without paying it? It probably is to keep the attendance up, you know.
Yeah.
Can
you imagine that happening in Tottenham? Oh, I haven't got a ticket. Oh, you can go in.
Oh yeah, sure. But be like the lad that let us into the AC Milan. I don't think he would let us in without a ticket. So.
Neil's still going on to the 3D Philip Brady knows film.
Come here. By the way, Joe, I'm going to have to go now. Sorry, I've been called in here for.
No, can I just quickly read this out to you quickly? I thought it was one of those scopes that go up the nostril, then around the back of the nose and down.
What you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Colonoscopy. That's up the other way. Sorry.
So, what are you playing tonight, Philip? What's your lineup for tonight now? What's your
6 to 7:15, and God knows after that. I could be playing until 10 o'clock, 10:15.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, well, listen, you're back tomorrow anyway. Normally, so it'd be great to have you back tomorrow. So, Philip, enjoy your drumming.
I'll do my best.
Don't have too many Guinnesses.
No, I definitely won't. Where is it? No, right.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'll go and have
You're not
going
to give us a tour into the pub, Philip.
Hang on.
A lot of people haven't seen where you.
Yeah. I'll hold on now. I'll just go in now. I'll just reverse.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a bit of a tour into where Philip plays every week, guys. So this is the first time I've seen this pub for a while. We're going into the pub, guys. Get your pounds ready. Oh look, there's Philip now. Look at the. We can't see your drum kit. Wow.
There you are.
Yeah. Wow. Just a little bit of breaking news, Philip. Just give you before you disappear. Talk Sport, your favourite radio station.
Yeah.
I've just said that Tuchel is in line for the job for West Ham if he gets sacked.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So he's coming back to London to make another fool of himself. Yeah, well.
But that was nice, Philip. Thanks for the little.
Yeah, it's a bit dark in it. I haven't put the lights on yet, but yeah, that's the story. Okay, lads, let's now go, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll speak to you later, Philip. Take care.
See you, lads.
All right,
all the best.
Bye-bye. All the best now. Bye-bye. There's Mr. Brady himself. Cup final teams. It was a knockout. That was it, Colin. Well done. Since when? No ads. Kenneth Walthamstone, best ever. Do you know what? I only heard him for the first time the other day. And I just thought he was very good. Yeah. I actually thought he was very good. But listen, guys, I forgot to mention before we finish off on the chat and the little preview to the game we're going to do a watch along tonight. We're not doing the Man City Brentford game. We're going to do the Inter Milan Atletico Madrid Champions League second leg. Round 16 second leg game from the San Siro. So we are going to do that as a watch along later, guys. But please do hit that QR code for our official partner, Wraith Energy Drinks. You can get everything from energy drinks there to you can get stuff to put your drinks into, everything. You get 10% off if you use the code THFCTID. Please hit the QR code. It does help us. It helps our official partner, and you get good stuff from it. And I'm ordering stuff off it tonight, and I will show you the stuff I get. But yeah, There's one there called bath water, apparently. Philip's getting that, so I want to know what that's like. So he's going to let me know. Anyway, I'm not fussed. I will take anything. Fair enough. Neil, what time is the sound check? Philip, can you put me on your guest list? Neil, get over there. I'm sure he will let you in. I'm sure he will. You're such a tart, Carl. Yeah, Ian, you're right. He is. He is in. He'll roll over for UEFA, FIFA, Premier League, Championship. Wonder would he roll over for the Bundesliga? A bit of comic relief in. Yeah. No, we've got Ian. How about me? Choo choo chin chin from China. Is he any good? Can he score goals? Yeah. How can we stop it? I've always loved the phrase regarding Jimmy Hill. You could pickles out of a jar with that gin. Yeah, that's so true. There can only be one president, and that would be Donald Trump, president of chief financial officer, because you can trust him, trust his as safe as. Yeah, sure you can, Neil. We've got keep this format, UEFA or F off. Exactly, FJT. I agree with you 100%. We've got the Talk Sport Tuchel. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is supposed to be in line to take over Tuchel at Bayern Munich. If it hasn't gone more bizarre, it's just gone really bizarre. Carl Simpson, that is where it all actually happens. Got to fight off those fans off. Yeah, exactly. And Conte wants Bayern Munich, apparently. Will Harry Kane want to stay there if Conte goes there? Who knows? And then we've got Man City are playing Brighton, Brentford tonight. They are. And then we've got YouTube full-time. That is for our sponsored. That's for our partner channel, the Full-Time Sports Network. Now, guys, here we go. This is all your information for the game tonight, because we are doing the Inter Atletico Madrid watch along. I'm going to change the thumbnail and change everything around, guys. We were doing the Man City Brentford game, but I can't find the link for that. But I know this is on TNT, so we will play this. Of course, the location is in Milan, Italy, in the Stadium San Siro. Kickoff 8 o'clock tonight in Ireland, England, and Europe. 3 o'clock Eastern time, 12 midday Pacific time. The referee is Team Vena Kofas from Romania, and VAR is Michael Fritz from Germany. Now, Inter Milan versus Atletico Madrid head-to-head. 1 win each, no draws. The last meeting was a 1-0 win for Inter Milan on the 11th of August in 2018 in the International Champions Cup. So 1 win each. But current form in all competitions, Inter Milan have won their last 5 in a row. Atletico Madrid, 2 wins, a draw, and only 2 defeats in the last 5 games. So not doing as well as Inter Milan are at the moment. Of course, the game is live on Discovery Plus app, TNT Sports 1. The United States is on Paramount, VIX, Univision now, CBS, and Galavision. And in Canada, it's on DAZN Sports. We've got Inter Milan's team. This is their lineup. Sommer, Pavard, Gervi, Bastoni, Dariman, Bali, and Thuram there as a striker. For Atletico Madrid, that is their predicted lineup, both playing in 3-5-2 formation. And then that's it. So that will be our watch along tonight. Instead of the Premier League game, we're going continental. So please join me for that at 10 to 8. Yeah, I'm going on 10 to 8 for that. Just a few more. Conte loves Dyer. Yeah, he really does. Carl Simpson saying it right now. Kane goes to Chelsea. I'm done with him. I think he will. I think Chelsea are putting a bid for him, 80 million plus in the summer. I don't think he's happy at Real Madrid. I don't think he is, and he's not going to win anything there this season. Carl, same here, Carl. Felt the same when Poch declared love for Spurs, then went to the Chavs. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you guys 100%. But that's over for today, guys. Thank you all for joining me. Please join me later. Of course, we have the watch along later. And tomorrow from 12 to 10 to 4, I'll be covering the first day of Formula One preseason testing course on our Spurs channel, on our F1 channel, being shown live on here as well, guys, as well on the Full-Time Sports Network from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 10 to 4. Then after that, then we will be doing I'll be coming straight over from that channel over here to do Newsbeat with Philip. We've got the football debate Thursday evening at 9. We have the Cockerel podcast as well being shown, of course, on Friday or Saturday. I can't remember when, because there is no Tottenham game this weekend, but we're doing plenty of Premier League watch-alongs as well, guys, as well as the rugby's back this weekend, as well as Ireland take on Scotland. So whenever that is on, we will show it to you. And then all the F1 testing. And then from next Wednesday, is it Wednesday or Thursday? Thursday, we'll be doing the 2 practice sessions for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We're going to do the qualifying on the Friday, the race on the Saturday. So what we're going to do for that is I will be covering the race when that starts, as Philip is doing around the grounds. And then every other Formula One weekend, when the race is suitable for me to watch it and broadcast to you guys, we will be broadcasting every session live on the channel. Plus, when we can't do it, we'll be doing a roundup of that race, like in Australia and other teams like in Japan and Las Vegas as well. We'll be doing up to date for you. So that will be starting as from tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that, guys. So please join me later. Thank you all for the kind words. Cheers, Carl. Cheers, Ricky Velia. Thanks so much, guys. Dermot, can't wait for the F1 near the Canai. Can't sit. Dermo, are you going to wear a racing suit and helmet? No, but I might do during the season. We'll see. Anyway, take care, everyone. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Ange, we trust. Just let me find the go in that button. There we go.